ZBooks makes it easy for you to customize and reconfigure your book. I'm going to start by showing you that if you click on the Configure ZBook button, you can rename and remove chapters and move them in any order that you want. So if I make this one week 1, and I decide that I want this chapter to be up here, I can do that. And within a chapter, I can do the same with any of the sections, move them to a new spot. It will renumber the section and put it in the right order. And sometimes there are instances where maybe there are pieces of chapters that you're either not going to cover or you're going to cover them later. So if you check the box, you can move them to an unused section, or let's say I was going to do this in chapter 6, I can move them to that chapter as well. So you can move things around. One use case we've seen with this is if there's a chapter that's really long or you have a shortened week, you might take half the chapter and move it into another chapter of its own, so that if you wanted to do these by week, you could. So if I wanted to take the back half of this whole chapter and move it into another chapter, I could do that. So that's one way to customize your material, because you're reconfiguring it to fit the way you teach your course. The other way you can do this is by adding your own material. So if I was in here, I can create a section. And if I'm in the configure part, I can actually create my own chapter as well. But if I click create section, I can title the section, and then I can add text blocks so that I can give directions about that section. Or maybe as an example, let's say I was making a syllabus quiz. I would perhaps put the whole syllabus here. I can put tables in, and then you can add your own questions that refer to that section. Again, these will be auto-graded as far as participation goes. We don't have the challenge activities. You can't make your own right now, but you can at least make this so you can ask your own questions. Question 1, and then you can choose what the answers should be, and you can also put your feedback. We have short answer questions that you can add in, and with the acceptable answers available. And you also can add images and videos. So in examples during COVID, we saw some people would put snippets of worked solutions to things, or even maybe clips from a lecture video to remind students about the content they were looking at. So all of that's available, and it's saved as you work in the book. And that leads to another piece to this, is that any of these chapters, you have a print chapter button, which really what it does is makes a PDF. So if students need to keep this material, they can, and have it saved as a PDF. The animations won't be there, obviously, but they will have something to access if they needed to. So if they need to use this as a reference to study for an exam, that's available to students so that they can continue to use the book. And all of that will happen in order. And this was mentioned in an earlier video, but also any of these assignments that you create, if there's anything that you put in here, you can still create assignments from it and have that synchronized if you wanted to your LMS, which we can help you with and get it synced up for you.